So my name is Rory. I'm 25, and yeah, I live in a city called Chilliwack. It's in British Columbia, Canada. It's about 1 hour, 1.5 hour from Vancouver. I've lived here for about in British Columbia for about 10 years now, and before that, I was in a different province of Alberta. Yeah, absolutely. So I've been teaching for just over 2 years now, and I created my own company. It's called the Language Mountain. The idea behind that is it's not just about the view; it's about the journey. I help people kind of reach those new heights. With that, everything happened really naturally and organically. I first got my schooling done through Bridge, and I started networking through other applications. And my network actually really started to grow in South America. So now, 2 years in, my entire student base is out of Brazil. So all of my students are Brazilian. I do have another full-time job that pays the bills. But then as I started teaching more, I realized that I absolutely love it. Um, so now all of my student base is of Brazil. I have about 8 full-time students a week on top of my other full-time job. So it keeps me busy, but I absolutely love it. And it's now kind of networked through them, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, my friend recommended me to you. So everything happened really naturally and congruently, which has been really neat. I work in a manufacturing plant in the finance department. So completely different, completely opposite side to everything, but that's kind of allowed me to teach my business English in a different perspective because I understand the business side of things. So I got my business English specialization so that I could actually teach what I know with my own experience, which has helped a lot. Right now, my two main things are Instagram. It's a great platform. Um, Obviously, I have many followers that are Brazilian, for example. So I try to make posts or ideas that are in Portuguese or Spanish. People are not going to maybe pay attention if it's in fully English, but if they're like, oh, that teacher also speaks Portuguese or Spanish, that can be a huge motivator for someone too. Um, I have tried to utilize LinkedIn a lot more for more of the business English centered to reach out hopefully to other companies in the future, as well as through friends. I'll create marketing material myself, and friends have no problem. They're like, "Yep, Rory, let me know. I'll send it to all of my friends that I know." They post it on their own social media. So it's cool to have that friend support in other countries to support you as well in those sense. Um, Honestly, everything. The ease of it, to be able to just have a class and a conversation with my students that are in different time zones in South America is kind of my target demographic. So teaching online allows me to do that. I'm not limited to what's happening in my city, for example. My city that I live in is very small and is not very diverse. So if I were to have in-person classes, it would be a lot more difficult. So having it online allows for so many more opportunities, and I can help so many more people, which ultimately drives me to teach, is that I can inspire and motivate and encourage my students wherever they are. I think there's tons for teaching for 2 years now. There's countless amounts of interesting conversations. I teach in a way that's very relaxed. I'm not a very strict teacher because my philosophy is English is fun. It shouldn't be a chore to learn. It should be interesting. Students would be like, "Yeah, I have English class today." So that's what I try to portray. So because of that, my students are really comfortable and have a really fun time with it. I think something I'm really proud of that I've helped is one of my students. He finished his PhD and he mentioned me in his thesis as an acknowledgement. So that was really cool. He sent me a screenshot of he was writing his thesis, and his acknowledgements include so many doctors and professors, and it was really cool to have me there and that genuine gratitude of like thank you of like you really made the difference for me. So that was really cool to have. Being able to at least be that one person in a student's life that can be encouraging and motivating for them. I always try to be their number one fan because everyone has so many things going on. So I try to be their teacher, but also a friend, someone they can really rely on with consistency. Life's crazy nowadays, so if I can at least be that one piece of encouragement and hey, like you got this, you're doing great. That really motivates me to help them because I see the difference. I think as adults, especially because that's also I only teach adults, people don't get that anymore. It's hard to say like you did a good job. Unfortunately, that's a lot more rare when you're an adult and especially learning something new. So if I can provide that, that's pretty cool. So obviously, initially I started with the 120 hour. I did my research for all of the different kind of TEFL certification schools that were out there, and I landed on Bridge because it really lined up with my philosophy with things and very user friendly to use. I was like, great. Then when I started the 120-hour master, I was like, wow, this is laid out really easily to understand everything. So I finished that, and not long after, I would say maybe in the I finished that in January of 2019. I think in the fall of that year was when I decided to take the 40-hour specialization in business English because by then I had had a couple months of experience and I was ready to invest in myself again to further some specialization. So once I took the business English course, I was like, okay, great. This helps align with my current experience and it's another thing I can provide. Business English is in huge demand all over the world. So, and after learning that I help mostly adults, I was like, business English is a great lot of friends too. Like, yeah, I need a job. I need interview preparation. I love helping students prepare for interviews. It's so fun. So after I got my business English specialization, it's like fantastic. That's another thing I can offer. And then I decided to take the 20-hour specializations in teaching IELTS. I still actually haven't had any students need to take that. It just hasn't been something that has come up. My schedule's been full. No one's needed to take IELTS, but I thought I would rather be prepared and be able to offer that if needed, rather than saying like, oh yeah, I want to take this exam, and then me saying, I can't help you with that. So it was another thing that I then wanted to just have in my tool belt to be able to offer if needed. I want to keep challenging myself. I want to, there's a good quote, if you want to do more, be more. If you want to be more, do more. So that's kind of where I am is I would love to be able to teach full time. That's the goal. Unfortunately, where I live is very expensive, and that's not quite, I still have to pay some bills too. So I'm pushing myself. I'm doing self-marketing more, pushing my business and putting myself out there. And I'm really proud of those progress that I'm making. I do plan on going to Brazil and Chile later this year as restrictions allow. The plan is for 3 weeks in both places. So that will allow me to really focus in, find new students, improve my Spanish and my Portuguese as well, which allows me to communicate to those who have a basic or no level of English, right? It's hard to market when they don't know or understand what you're marketing. So that's something I've learned too. So what's next is everything. I don't have a specific goal rather than to push myself as far as I can to be able to help as many people as I can.